Hello and welcome back to my channel Accountancy Step by Step. I am an MCom postgraduate, experienced guest lecturer in Government College. Since 2008 working in a corporate finance profile. With the help of my YouTube channel, I am teaching you accountancy. So stay safe at home and study with me. Today we will understand the cost of goods available for sales, cost of goods sold and gross profit. So stay connected. Let's start. Let's understand the meaning of marshalling and grouping of assets and liabilities. Okay. So guys, this is basically for the preparation of balance sheet. Balance sheet we do prepare to check out the financial position of any company, in which we'll have to mention the categorize the assets and liabilities. Okay, so this is basically for the purpose of reporting. So just think about that. If anything we are preparing for the purpose of reporting, there should be the logical thing which we should use. So there should be the way in which we are arranging the assets and the liabilities so that the third party or the interested users can get the information quickly and the correct information they can get easily. So for that the marshalling and grouping can be done. Okay, so what do you mean by marshalling? Marshalling is the arrangement of assets and liabilities in a particular order is known as the marshalling. So this needs to be done in two ways. One is liquidity and another one is permanence. Liquidity and permanence are opposite to each other. Liquidity means the assets which can be convertible into cash as soon as possible, easily, quickly. However, permanence means which are less liquid. Okay, so which we cannot convert into the cash easily, like any furniture I am purchasing, any machinery I am purchasing. However, cash is convertible, or stock if I am selling and can convert that into liquidity, so that will be my liquid asset. Okay, so on the basis of liquidity if I am arranging, or on the basis of permanence if I am arranging, so that will be called the marshalling. In case of permanence, the most permanent asset or the liability is put on the top of the balance sheet. So in that way we will start preparing the balance sheet or the putting the assets in the balance sheet on the basis of permanent nature of the assets or liabilities. Thereafter the assets are arranged in their reducing level of permanency. In case of liquidity, the order is reversed, of course, because these are opposite to each other. The information presented in this manner would enable the user to have a good idea about the life of the various accounts. The assets account of the relatively permanent nature would continue in the business for the longer time, whereas the less permanent or the more liquid accounts will change their forms in the near future and are likely to become cash or the cash equivalent. So both marshalling is just arranging the assets and liabilities in the proper way so that the interested users can get the information easily and quickly. So this is just the arrangement of assets and liabilities in the balance sheet. Now marshalling has two ways. In two ways we can do the marshalling. One is liquidity and one is the permanence nature. In the liquidity form, we arrange the assets in the most liquid asset first and then the less liquid asset, and the order is reducing on the basis of liquidity. However, in the permanence nature, we arrange the assets most permanent nature first and then reducing. Okay, so the less liquid asset would come on the top. Now let's see the format. This is on the basis of permanence nature: furniture, debtors, bank and cash. So cash is the most liquid asset, then bank will have to go to the bank and then convert, and then debtors will give us, and the furniture will have to sell the furniture. So this is in this way, this is called the permanence nature. Okay, here in the liability form also. Now on the basis of liquidity we will arrange most liquid asset first and then the order will go on. Okay, so these are the differences. Grouping. Now what we have learned was the marshalling. Now this is the grouping. Grouping means we are grouping any assets or liabilities. So the same nature we will group in one head, and another same nature we will group in another head. This is only called the grouping. The items appearing in the balance sheet can also be properly grouped. Okay, the term grouping means putting together item of similar nature under a common heading. For example, the balance of accounts of cash, bank, debtors, etc. can be grouped and shown under the heading of current assets. We all know the meaning of current assets, and the balances of all the fixed assets and the long term investment. So that will be covered under the non-current assets. So in this scenario also we will consider marshalling on the basis of performance. On the basis of performance, we will cover the most less liquid asset or the most permanent asset on the top, and that will be the fixed asset that will cover under the non-current assets, and then the current assets, the liquid. And if I will consider on the basis of liquidity, then I will take the current assets on the top and then non-current assets. That will be on the basis of liquidity. Okay. Now let's understand some practical. Now as per me, the chapter is completed. Now we are taking into consideration some practicals so that all the concepts will be cleared now. Okay. So this is the unsolved practical. From the following balances taken from the books year ending, this calculate the gross profit. Gross profit we have calculated by preparing the trading account. So let's prepare the trading account. All the direct expenses will have to take into the consideration, right? To opening stock. I have not yet seen whether the opening stock is given or not. Closing stock is given. Opening stock 15 lakh. Okay, now next one. Most probably purchases are given. Net sales means sales return is already been deducted. Okay, so sales I would consider on the credit side, and I am considering that this is the net sales. Sales return has already been deducted. 40 lakh is the net sales. Sale is the revenue which will come here. So by sales, by closing stock. Okay, now the next one is direct expenses, purchases. Okay. Closing stock, we know 2,50,000. Two purchases. Here again the net purchase mentioned. It means this is after deduction of purchase return 15 lakh. Opening stock and purchases both are same. Okay. Direct expenses 80,000. Direct expenses 80,000. Done. Closing stock, net sales, net purchase, opening stock and direct expenses all are done. So here we will calculate the total. Now to gross profit equals to this minus this. This is my gross profit. Okay. So if you will calculate both sides should be same. Of course, I am deducting all the debits from the credit, so these are the same. Okay, so this is done. Just remember one thing, once you will do, just do it in the proper format. Okay, now the next one, we can cover up one more. See what is here. From the following balances extracted from the books, calculate the amount of cost of goods available for sales. Cost of goods sold during the year. Now what is the difference between these two terms? Gross profit you can find out easily after preparing the trading account. Now cost of goods sold we have understood. Goods sold means the stock which has been sold. So we will have to deduct the closing stock from it. Okay. Now the another term we'll have to find out is cost of goods available for sales. It means closing stock we will not deduct. Closing stock is also the part of that because that is also available for sales. We can sell out closing stock also. So these are the terms which we will have to identify, we will have to find out. So let's start resolving this. First of all, we will prepare this cost of goods available for sales. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so for this we will not consider closing stock because that is also available for sales. Okay, so let's start. Opening stock, opening stock is 25,000. Now purchases, credit purchase, cash purchase, both we will add total purchases, and purchase return is here 10,000. So total purchases will be 10,50,000 minus 10,000, so that will be 10,40,000. Okay, now purchases done. Sales we will not add because we are finding out the cost of goods. Wages are the direct expenses, 1 lakh. Now salaries are the indirect expenses, we will not consider here. Closing stock we will not consider because that is also available for sales. Sales return we will not consider because sales also we will not take into consideration. Purchase return all already done. So for a cost of goods available for sales, this will be, so let's total it. Okay, so this will be our first part completed. Now to find out the cost of goods sold during the year, for cost sold what we will do, sold means we will have to deduct the closing stock from it. Okay, so let's deduct closing stock, because if closing stock is there, it means remaining portion has been sold. Closing stock we always deduct to find out the cost of goods sold. So closing stock is 30,000. Let's deduct it. Equals to this minus this. So 11,35,000. Now the next one is gross profit. For this we will have to prepare the trading account completely. Let's prepare it. To opening stock 25,000, to purchases less purchase return 10,50,000 minus 10,000, that will be 10,40,000. To wages was there 1 lakh. Now salaries are the indirect expenses, purchases done, sales. Sales are the revenues. We will write down here by sales. By sales after deducting the sales return. Sales is 16 lakh, 12 lakh plus 4 lakhs. This will be 16 lakhs minus 15,000. So 1550. Okay, 15 lakh 50,000. How you will calculate it? Total of sales, credit sales and purchase sales 16 lakhs minus sales return. Sales return given over here is 50,000. Okay. So if you will deduct it, you will get this amount. 16 minus. Okay. Now by closing stock, because we are finding out the gross profit now. Closing stock is 30,000. So everything I have entered here: opening stock, purchase minus purchase return, sales minus sales return, wages, salaries we will not consider because this is the indirect expenses. Now let's calculate. Equal to this minus this. This is my gross profit. Okay, so these both are same. Now this is my gross profit. All the three terms you have calculated. I hope the concept is clear now. What is cost of goods sold? What is cost of goods available for sales? Okay. And what is net profit? What is operating profit? Operating profit, if you are confused, just go through the last video in which I have explained the meaning of operating profit. Operating profit is what? In which we will not consider the non-operating incomes and non-operating expenses. Okay. So for now, that's it. Let's meet in the next video with more practical solution. Stay connected. Just keep practicing all the terms as of now which I have covered. Just go through the playlist attached in the videos. I am attaching all the playlist just to make the concepts easy for you to understand. Just watch all the videos, make your notes, understand the terms. I am explaining each term so that no further issues you will face. Okay, so I will see you in the next video with some more practicals. Stay safe at home and do your practice. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Click on the bell icon to get the notification once I will upload my new video. Also, don't forget to share the links with all the accountancy students, your friends, your colleagues, so that they also can get the benefit of these videos. Bye-bye. Please subscribe my channel Accountancy Step by Step and click on the bell icon to get the notification once I will upload the next topic. Also, you can follow my Facebook page with the name of Accountancy Step by Step. All the videos are there also. I will see you in my next video. Till then, bye-bye.